Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet, and another heavyweight news mashup video today, starting with Matchroom and its promoter Eddie Hearn, who has posted to his social media in an Instagram story that Matchroom Boxing has a plan B. See here on screen, this was the screenshot that he posted of the plan B. What it is, we don't know, but with the effects of coronavirus seemingly impacting boxing all over the globe, Matchroom may need to rely on that plan B. As it is, there's a number of heavyweight boxing headlined pay-per-view cards for Matchroom coming up, as well as Frank Warren's on April the 11th with Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. But the other three, which Matchroom has, is May 2nd, Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin, May 23rd, Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora, and then Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev on June 20th. And should the situation change in the United Kingdom in terms of events and restricting the numbers of people for, different events, that sort of stuff, Matchroom may be forced into their plan B. Clearly they are prepared. This is a contingency that they have been working on. It could end up being like other promotional outfits around the world, that they're looking at staging events where it's fighters only, no crowd. So we'll have to see where things go with that, but plan B for Matchroom in place. And with the three heavyweight pay-per-view cards that they have coming up, I'm sure they won't want those dates to be wasted, and what we could end up seeing is more people paying for pay-per-views if they can't go to the events. It just could be something that ends up happening. These events are already on pay-per-view, so that might be the only way to watch if audiences sort of ruled out of the picture. Meanwhile, more heavyweight fights have been called off due to the current situation. So see here on screen, Ben Damon, a boxing commentator, says lots more boxing events now officially off, including March 28 in Germany, Dominic Bozell versus Zach Dunn. So they're not heavyweights, but on that undercard was Agit Kabayel. He was due to face Mariusz Wach for a vacant WBA regional strap, the Continental belt. So that is now off. And Kabayel, this is the second fight in 2020 that's already been canned for him. He was due to fight in the United States earlier this year, but he had visa issues, had to pull out of a fight which would have been with Victor Bisbal. That was going to be his first fight on his new co-promotional deal with ESPN and Top Rank. So Kabayel, not a good 2020 thus far for him. And the other fight that Ben Damon refers to, March 28th in Las Vegas, it was Apti Davtaev and Lucas Browne. Apti Davtaev, it would have been his third fight of the year, first for Lucas Browne, and it would have been Browne's first fight in the United States. So that is seemingly off. We don't know if this is going to be rescheduled at some point, either the Wach and Kabayel fights or Browne and Davtaev. We'll have to see, but for the moment, they will not be fighting. Top Rank is talking up the return of its recent signing, Jarrell Miller, the unbeaten American heavyweight. Miller has been out of the ring since November 2018. He last fought Bogdan Dinu. But the reason he's been out of the ring so long was a series of failed tests in April 2019, which came to light. He was due to fight Anthony Joshua in June 2019, but those three different results came out. Multiple substances in his system. He's since come out claiming HGH and EPO were in his system due to a medical procedure. The other drug, GW1516, no explanation given. But Top Rank president Todd Dubois says Miller was supposed to be opposite Joshua, but it didn't happen. The heavyweight division is at the forefront of boxing's renaissance. Look at Miller, Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz Jr. These guys are all in play. Miller has a personality like Fury and Wilder, a great talker and very charismatic. He's a guy that can offer a lot. He is one of boxing's most unique and exciting characters, but most importantly, he can fight. Those are the comments of Todd Dubois to Sky Sports. And Miller has been talking up his return. He's sort of playing the bad guy. He wants to embrace a villain role in the heavyweight division. And given some of what's happened, I think that's probably a wise strategy, because it's unlikely that, given what happened with the failed tests and etc., that fans would completely warm up to him again. He was already a guy that sort of divided opinion before the failed test came to light, because his record seemingly was somewhat padded and he wasn't stepping into the sort of step-up fights that some people thought he should have before having a title fight. But undeniably, he does have talent. But will he be the same fighter after such a long period out of the ring? And also, there is the suspicion that he may have been using substances but hadn't been caught previously. That is something that fans have discussed in comment sections all over the internet since what happened back in 2019. So the return of Miller, seemingly it's coming soon. Bob Arum a few weeks ago indicated it would likely be the earliest May. He had spoken about that they wanted Miller to have a year out of the ring and sort of be seen to have actually had some consequence for his actions, because remembering he didn't have a license when he failed those tests, so the New York State Athletic Commission couldn't sanction him, and the WBA dropped him out of their rankings for 6 months and said he had to undergo some testing, VADA testing, in the period that he was out to prove that he was clean and could come back into the rankings after that. That hasn't happened so far, but that's because he hasn't been fighting either. The WBO also dropped Miller from their rankings at the time, but never really said anything public about it. But Todd DeBoeuf is right in the sense that Miller is a character. He's a big talker. He does sort of divide opinion. He gets people's backs up. And I guess if he is going to embrace the villain role, there certainly could be a place for him in the heavyweight division, especially given a number of the top heavyweights within the top 20. There's a decent number of them that have had their own troubles with PED scandals before. The 1-0 heavyweight prospect David Adeleye has been added by Frank Warren to the Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce card on April the 11th. And you can see here on screen, here is a post from social media, Frank Warren saying he was one of Gypsy King's main sparring partners ahead of his demolition job on Deontay Wilder. Big D, David Adeleye, returns on the Seek and Destroy April 11th show at the O2 in London. And at this point, that show is going ahead, and Adeleye, another heavyweight fight on it, but given it's less than a month out from that card, you would imagine it would be another soft opponent, especially given that David Adeleye is only coming into this for a second pro fight. So this is more card filler than anything, but David Adeleye is a name to watch. There are some big raps that potentially he could do something in the heavyweight division, but clearly we need to see more. His first fight, it was okay. He was trying a little hard for the knockout, and ultimately he got the stoppage. But Adeleye, having worked with Tyson Fury in recent months for that Deontay Wilder camp, he clearly will be better for that experience. And veteran heavyweight contender Carlos Takam says everyone needs to keep calm and carry on in regards to coronavirus. So see here on screen a post from his social media. He says, with this virus, COVID-19, protect yourself, stay strong, because things will get better. The weather may be stormy, but it cannot rain forever. May patience teach us to trace every morning the hope of better days. Good start to the week, everyone. Hashtag humanity. Hashtag humanity in French, I take that as. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.